57 million children of primary age do not have access to education, and 250 million children do not know how to read or write globally.
So many of the children that we've been supporting, they're just born into the life that they're born into. That doesn't necessarily mean that that should be where they end up.
There's imbalance in the world, so imbalanced, and we need to bring that balance back in.
Classroom of Hope is an organization that my husband and I run. Purpose is to bring education to children in developing countries. What's amazing about education is it really has the power to help people out of poverty.
I was living a very selfish life, very materialistic. I traveled to Cambodia, and a friend at the time had told me about this very inspiring man, Raki, who was doing amazing work with kids there.
And it started with this idea, which was small, but through learning, Duncan started to see that children not being able to receive an education is a global issue. It's a massive global issue.
It's not in a good way at all. The classrooms are destroyed and very dark.
Right around the time that Duncan started to realize, okay, this isn't just me helping a man with a project anymore. This is going to be a non-for-profit organization where we're actually going to help thousands of children. That's probably where I also came on board. And I felt so connected and inspired by the whole idea as well. We had about 3 years where we were both working 40 hours a week in our day jobs, and then working on Classroom of Hope during evenings and weekends.
We're at Lawson Primary School.
We're here at Prek Trub Primary School. We've seen an increase in student enrollment from 445 students to 500 students.
There's also created a watermelon farm here and then selling their produce.
During that time, we were able to raise over $400,000, and we helped over 7,000 kids.
We had come back from Rwanda, and we'd had a number of donors that had pulled out for various reasons, cash flow, etc. And we were short of a number of funds. And I thought, well, better go back into the corporate and try and make some bucks so we can just get ourselves back up there again. I'd been working in corporate and mining and technology, various different organizations as a management consultant. Over that time, I probably lost a little bit of touch with my inner self. I went back in, that lasted 3 days. I had to have a hard look at myself in that company's toilet room, staring at myself in the mirror. What am I doing here? I got straight on the phone to Nicola. As supportive as she is, she told me to pack it in and we'll just make a plan some other way.
We were going to burn out. We were burning out. And that model wasn't sustainable. Duncan and I had a really big decision to make.
Stay in Perth and struggle, or move over here, halve our expenses, and continue forward working full-time in Classroom of Hope.
It's become so much a part of who we are. So we had to come up with a creative way to become sustainable, putting the idea of the Wise Owls out there. We're asking people not only to believe in Classroom of Hope, but to believe in us, and that's a challenging thing to do. What if people don't respond? What if people don't believe in us?
Then you let go of it, you accept it, you pick yourself up and you move forward. What matters is we need to see this for ourselves.
I find Ubud incredibly inspiring. So much about this place that just sets me up right for the day, especially the mornings.
One of Nick's really good little meals. Local.
The truth is I haven't learned how to cook that much here.
I mean, you can get anything, but we've got to keep in mind that the more we buy local, we're supporting the local community.
What do you call this meal that you're making?
I have no idea.
We always regroup. We kind of have a little team meeting in the mornings and we discuss what needs to get done.
There's a massive gap missing.
Originally it was pitching to corporates for large sums of money, but we got no traction out of that.
So the flip happened when we realized that there's power in people, in people banding together.
That's where Wise Owls was born.
This idea that we could have individuals who really believe in me and in Duncan and in Classroom of Hope.
Wise Owls are our investors. By them effectively covering our operations, we get to focus all our energies on raising funds from the public, where we could send 100% of those dollars to fund education projects.
So often in the non-for-profit world, people break it up or want things to be broken up. Well, how much of my dollar is actually going to the field? The reality is that every single cent helps these children. It's just that some of those dollars go directly to the field, and some of those dollars go to all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that has to happen to create that impact.
We launched this idea for the Wise Owls at the end of 2015, and that has allowed Duncan and myself to be working full-time in Classroom of Hope. The reason we've been able to do that is because we got the support of roughly 40 individuals who are our founding Wise Owls, and they believe in us. They believe in Classroom of Hope, and they believe in Duncan and I as individuals. Because of their belief and their support, we've seen how this model is creating sustainability in our organization. We can do more. It's called Pierce Primary School. I think it's our benchmark school. First photos that we have of this school are, it's a hut. And if you look at it now, it's actually a proper school. Children in that area probably never dreamed of being able to go to a school there, and they do. The number of students has gone from 52 to over 150. I suppose it just fulfills me to know that even in some small way, we're helping kids to change their future, change their lives.
This isn't just our story. This is a story about everyone who is a part of the Classroom of Hope family, the team, the donors, the supporters, the partners, everyone. I would ask from the bottom of my heart that those who believe in our work and our story and want to be a part of this family, that you join the Wise Owls and help us educate thousands more children in our mission to end the global education crisis. Help us keep hope alive. Join the Wise Owls.